How many kilograms of coffee produced by one tree?
Do you know how much coffee produced by one tree? If you don't, you're not alone. In fact, most people have no idea. A single coffee tree can grow up to 30 kilograms of coffee beans in a year.
That's a lot of coffee. It comes from just one tree. So, if you're ever curious about how much coffee produced by one tree, now you know. The coffee plant and its fruit.
The coffee plant is a small evergreen shrub that produces coffee beans. The coffee plant is native to Africa and was first cultivated in Ethiopia. Coffee plants grow best in warm, humid climates and need about 4 years to mature before producing fruit.
If you want to know how much coffee produced by one tree, then the answer is a coffee tree can produce up to 12 kilograms of coffee beans annually. The beans are encased in a red or purple fruit called a coffee cherry.
Once the cherries are ripe, they are picked, and the beans are extracted. The beans are then roasted and ground to make coffee.
Coffee produced by one tree. How many coffee trees are needed to produce 1 kilogram of coffee? It takes around 2,000 coffee trees to produce 1 metric ton of coffee.
It takes approximately 40,000 beans to make 1 kilogram of coffee. The weight of coffee produced by one tree can vary greatly, depending on the tree species, growing conditions, and other factors.
For example, a robusta tree can have up to 3 kilograms of coffee per year, while an arabica tree may only produce 1 kilogram. The average yield of coffee trees.
The average yield of coffee trees is around 2,000 pounds per year. However, this can vary greatly depending on the tree's age, the type of coffee plant, and growing conditions.
For example, younger trees generally produce less coffee than older trees. Additionally, coffee plants, such as arabica and robusta, have more coffee than others.
Finally, soil quality, sunlight exposure, and water availability can all affect a coffee tree's yield.
How long does it take for a coffee tree to bear fruit? It takes approximately 3 to 4 years for a coffee tree to bear fruit. Depending on the species of the coffee tree, climate, and soil conditions, some trees may take a bit longer to bear fruit.
Once the tree begins bearing fruit, it will produce coffee beans for around 20 years on average. Coffee produced by one tree has approximately 20 to 25 kilograms of coffee beans.
What factors affect the yield of a coffee tree?
Coffee yield is affected by many environmental and management factors. These include the variety of coffee plants, tree age, nutrition, pruning, shade, irrigation, soil type and fertility, temperature, rainfall, altitude, and harvest time.
Coffee plants are generally categorized into two main types, arabica and robusta. Arabica plants are more delicate and sensitive to environmental conditions than robusta plants.
They produce a higher quality coffee bean but have a lower yield. Robusta plants are more tolerant of adverse conditions and create a lower quality bean, but have a higher product.
The age of the coffee tree also affects yield. Young trees will produce fewer beans than mature trees. Nutrition is another critical factor affecting the outcome.
Coffee trees must be fertilized regularly with nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium to maintain optimal growth and yield.
Pruning is another management practice that can affect coffee yields. Pruning helps manage plant growth, shape the canopy for optimal light exposure, and improve air circulation within the top, which can help reduce fungal diseases.
All of these factors can lead to increased coffee yields.
Shade is another crucial factor affecting coffee production. Less shade will result in lower yields, as the plant will need more sunlight for photosynthesis to occur efficiently.
Conversely, too little shade can adversely affect coffee production, as the plant may overheat or experience drought stress. The ideal level of shade for coffee production varies depending on the farm and the producer's personal wants and resources.
Conclusion. Based on the information in this article, it takes around 40 to 50 kilograms of coffee cherries to produce 1 sack of green coffee beans. This means that, on average, coffee produced by one tree has approximately 20 to 25 kilograms of coffee beans.
Thank you for watching. coffeeeternal.com